What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS. A video, unfortunately, it's Monday. It is June 24th, but we are back with a 12-game slate that we are going to break down. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We break it down for you more than other people. If after this breakdown you need a little bit more help, in the description of this video is this link to today's article, which you can check out. We've taken everything we talk about, then we throw some plays at each position that we like. So definitely go check that out. In the description is also our Discord link. So a lot of people go back and forth. We give out core plays there. We give out stacks. We give out prop bets. We've got a lot of people showing prop bets there. We had another fantastic winner yesterday. One of our people in our Discord showed they won over, I think it was $2,236, something like that, for Sunday Night Baseball. Just the home run parlay on the Sunday Night Baseball game. So if you want to go check that out, we've got winning lineups over there that people can show under the prop bets. We've got a ton of things. If you need a little bit more help and this video isn't enough, we do have a ton of information under the MLB tab, so go check it out, from player projections to simulations. We also have FTA Plus. So obviously it would help out the channel to subscribe, but FTA Plus, $10 a week would get you a week of MLB, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA. If you want to check it out, a month is $29.99. But if you use the promo code BIRTHDAY on the $29.99 a month, you will get... Actually, no. If you use the promo code YouTube, all one word, all capital letters, under the MLB, just a monthly pass, and I'll show you real quick once it loads. So we've got a $10 a week, $29.99 a month. So if you go to All Access Monthly Pass, you join it, use the promo code YouTube, all one word, all capital letters, you'll get $10 off. You can get a month for $19.99 for the first month. If you decide you want to go with the yearly pass, we do have a couple of coupon codes left. Use the promo code BIRTHDAY, all one word, all capital letters. Instead of $199 for the year, you'll get it for $99. And there's only, I think, 3 coupon codes left. So definitely go check that out if that's something you've been interested in. But if you're new to the channel, liking the videos, being a subscriber helps out. If you can't donate, if you can't tip, if you can't sign up for FTA Plus, clicking on the ads helps way more than you guys know. Going to the website and clicking on the ads on the website helps out immensely as well. I understand it's annoying, but it helps me out. That being said, we are going to break down every game today. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. We are still waiting on a couple of pitchers. I didn't do a video last night because we were still waiting on pitchers, and they're still not there. So we'll definitely dig into that a little bit. We have 2 giveaways every single video. The first way, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment on the video, preferably a positive comment, but other comments have a chance to win as well. You have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus if we get to 50 likes. If the video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, and 200 or more likes, a chance at a lifetime pass. So yesterday's video got 138 likes. So we were very close to someone winning a free year. The day before was 122 likes. So the weekend was a very good weekend. Hopefully you guys had success. But we are going to have 2 giveaways. The second one is somewhere in this video, there's going to be a keyword, and you'd be listening for that keyword and then type that keyword in there. So you definitely could have a chance to win twice in the same day. So we've never had the same person win, but you can win all the way up until you get a lifetime pass. So we are going to see who the winner from yesterday's video is for the free monthly pass right now. Yesterday's free monthly winner is X Reckles Driver X. So if you congratulations, but send me an email, dfshelp1@gmail.com. If you already have a username on the website, let me know that. If you do not, send me a username and an email you would like to use, and I will get you set up for a free month right when you send that email. So congratulations. Let's pick another winner. Now, he has a chance to win yet again. Never happened before. We're just going to randomly pick it here, and we will see who the winner is. And the winner for CNO Forever just won on yesterday's video or the on Saturday's video. That is how easy it is. If you guys come back and leave comments, you have a chance to win every single day. The keyword yesterday was Morgan. It was just the name Morgan. So, congratulations to both of you. Hopefully, you guys continue to come back and win from FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So, that being said, we are going to dig in. We have 12 games to look at. We don't have all the pitchers available. We got a 3-game early slate, and then we've got a main slate of 9. It looks like weather should be good. As of now, it just looks like a lot of clouds, but night games, we should be good. Let's dig in. So first game on the slate, we've got the Guardians at the Orioles coming in. We got Tanner Bibby versus Cade Povich. Now, Povich, I believe this will be his 3rd start. Let's see. This will be his 4th start. Didn't do too well against the Yankees. He did well by only giving up 1 earned run, but only went 4.2 innings. That's kind of a little bit scary. And now he goes up against Cleveland. I don't want Povich. You could go Povich for tournaments just because he's 5,900. There's 3 games, and that's that. But Cleveland's a very good hitting team. Now, looking at these, he is a lefty. A lot of the good bats are lefties for the Orioles or for Cleveland, but they can still hit lefties. So we'll just glance over this early slate real quick. I'm using Povich in tournaments. That's basically it. I do not trust Casey Mize specifically against Philly because we look at this. He has not done well. He has not faced Philly this year. Pitching at home, he's got a 3.26 ERA, but he has been lit up. He's got a 4.44 ERA. I would be on the Philly bats there. Taj Bradley, we look at him, 4.06 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced Seattle this year. Bad game against Minnesota. Really good game against the Cubs with 7 innings. Only went 5 innings against Baltimore, but struck out 7, got 20.9, then got lit up by Baltimore. Kansas City, 20.9. Now, I do like this a little bit because, as you know, we have another, if you look at the chapters down in the description, we have a section called Pitches Be Crazy. So we go over what pitchers have a good matchup against a team that strikes out the most. Well, Seattle strikes out the most out of any team. Seattle striking out an average of 10 batters per game, 9 over the last 3, 8 over their last 1, and Seattle on the road striking out 9.93% of the time, or 9.93 batters per game on the road. Taj Bradley does have some strikeout numbers. Obviously not much here against Minnesota, but 11 against Chicago, 7 against Baltimore, 6 against Kansas City. Taj Bradley has the best matchup against a team that strikes out the most. I'm okay with that at 8,100. I could definitely see that. And then Nola, obviously, as a great matchup against Detroit. Bibby against Baltimore would be a tournament option. And then Brian Wu might be one of my favorite pitchers. Tampa Bay strikes out the 5th most out of all teams this year, or 6th most out of all, but 5th out of today who plays. So I love Brian Wu. So honestly, if we look at this main slate, I'm not Povich for tournaments, maybe. I'm not looking at Mize at all. That's basically it. I would use everyone else. Wu, I think, is cash or tournament. I think Bibby is cash or tournament because Baltimore, their offense obviously scares me, but they just got swept. They got swept by the Astros over the weekend. Whether or not that's going to fuel the fire, I don't know. Bibby, if you look at him, he has not faced Baltimore this year. When he's pitching on the road, he does have a better ERA, 2.84. Coming off a fantastic game against Seattle. Like I said, 12 strike. He's got back-to-back double-digit strikeouts. 12 strikeouts against Seattle, who strikes out a ton. So those are the options. The only one that I'm not using would be Mize in this one. Then I would go with the stacks. So I would, obviously, number 1, stack the Phillies. Pretty much anyone in this lineup I would stack, and you guys know that. So Schwarber, Turner, Nick Castellanos might be another one that I'd look at. You got Bohm. You got a ton there. That's the number 1 stack in this early slate for me. Second one is probably Cleveland. David Fry, J. Ram being a switch hitter, Josh Naylor. Definitely those 3 at least. You go Schneemann if you want to a little bit. You go Andres Jimenez, even though it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, and he did not play. He did not play on Sunday. I don't know if it was just a day of rest. I don't know what it was. So definitely that is one to look at if you are building a lineup that you go maybe Tyler Freeman, but he didn't do anything for us on Sunday. Got us, I think, a big goose egg. So Cleveland would be my second stack. My third stack is most likely Baltimore. I know Bibby's great, but Baltimore, obviously great hitting team as well. Pretty much the only one in that lineup for Baltimore that I would not look at is Colton Cowser. Really has not done anything in almost 2 months. Had a very good hot streak going, and he's batting like 184 since I think April 24th or something like that. He's pretty much the only one I would not. And Santander is my number one Baltimore guy. Then Gunnar, obviously Adley is another one you would look at. Like, these are the stacks I would look at. I'm pretty much not on Detroit as a stack. Nola has had a bad game. I guess you could go Detroit for tournament stack, but I'm not going that direction. Again, I will let you know when I'm wrong. I will let you know when I'm right. And we'll go from there. So the early slate, 3 games, I think we pretty much covered what we needed to. The only pitcher that I don't feel any confidence in is Mize, and I'm probably not using Povich either. So it's going to be a combination of Bradley, Nola, and Bibby, and Wu. Bradley having a fantastic matchup against a team that strikes out could be a sneaky option, especially at 8,100, especially if you wanted to go like Brian Wu and Bradley against each other if you think this game is going to be a low-scoring game. And that's kind of my confidence in this early slate. I'll have some exposure to this slate. Normally I don't play like a massive ton of early slates, but I do like this slate today. So then we jump into the main slate. We've got 9 games to look at. We've got Pittsburgh at Cincy. We got Bailey Falter versus Carson Spears. Now, technically, Carson Spears has the 4th best matchup for strikeouts. So the Pirates do strike out a ton. Bailey Falter always scares me. He comes in. He sometimes has good games, and then he does it. A 3.74 ERA is not bad, but as you see, like the last 3 games, he has not done much. Just faced this Cincy team, went 7 innings in that game, 2 earned runs, 1 home run. Lost that game 2-1. Didn't have any run support. I don't like Falter here. I would rather go Cincy bats. And then Carson Spears, 3.20 ERA, 20 strikeouts. Obviously bullpen guy for a little bit. Has started the past couple of games. Just faced this Pittsburgh team here. 4 earned runs in that game. Had 5 strikeouts. 10.7. I don't think I'm using Spears or Spires, however you say his last name, for DFS. But I might look at him for the pitches be crazy because Pittsburgh, they do strike out 9.43 times per game. That's and you can see struck out 5 in that game there. That was at Pittsburgh. Now he's at home. Whether or not that matters, home's got a little bit better ERA, but no game started at home. So I will use him a little bit. I will not use Falter. I would use the Reds bats. So as you know, or if you've never been here before, love Tyler Stevenson against a lefty here. Ellie De La Cruz has to be in your lineup. I think Spencer Steer's got to be in your lineup if you're looking at some of these Reds bats as a stack. And I do every single day. I have people messaging me saying, can you go deeper into these batters that you like? On these videos, no. If this was my full-time job, if I had sponsors, if I had donations, tips coming in where I could take 5 hours to make each video, yes, I could do that. But since this is not my full-time job, we do have a ton of information on the website. So all the batters that I'm talking about, the ones that I like, or each depth chart that you want to look at, if you go to MLB tab on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, you go to the batter splits. It is updated every morning. So it's 6 a.m. right now. It is not updated yet. By the time you watch this video, it most likely will be updated. I normally say, if you're looking at stuff, everything should be updated by 10 a.m. If not, should be by noon. So that being said, if there is a day, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We have 500 subscribers to go by the 4th of July. If we get to 10,000 total YouTube subscribers by the 4th of July, we are going to give away one $500 lifetime pass. That being said, anytime there's not a video for the day, check out the website. We will have information on the website. All of this will be updated every day, except for July 18th, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm having a child. Hopefully by then. I obviously will not have any videos that weekend. Hopefully you stick around. I don't know if anyone is part of FTA Plus during that weekend. Whenever your subscription ends, I will add the 4 days if we are off for 4 days. Obviously, I would love to be able to give you guys info and stuff every single day. Depends if the baby and the wife are sleeping in the hospital and I have my computer. Sure, I'll crank out some content for you, not videos. But my plan is not to do anything. I cannot guarantee I will or won't, but that's obviously the plan. But if you guys go check out all this information, most of this is free. Some of it is part, like the projections, simulations. That stuff is part of FTA Plus. $10 a week helps me out, helps you out, helps the family out, helps everybody out. So that being said, I did forget to mention at the end of this video, we're going to give you some top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So I did forget to mention to go through that. So I don't want Falter. I do want the Reds as a stack here. I don't want Carson for DFS. I'm probably just using him for the pitching stat on FanDuel. Then we get to the Jays at the Red Sox. We've got to be announced. I really thought this would be out there by now. I'm curious what they think it's going to be. Chris Bassett. He did just pitch Tuesday, so it would make sense. Obviously, we are waiting here. If it is Chris Bassett, he does have the third best matchup for strikeouts against Boston. 6.5, 7.77. So the strikeouts have been there for him. He obviously makes a lot of sense if he's in there. He just faced Boston his last start, went 6 innings in that game, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 16.1. Obviously, 16.1 is not enough for me. I'm probably not using Bassett in DFS. I would use him for the strikeout thing on DraftKings. Just he's not getting enough fantasy points. You need a minimum 2.5 times value. So 8,500 times 2.5 is basically what we're looking at. And he's just not doing it here, which is fine, but I'm just not using him for DFS. Then you got Tanner Houck. Comes in, 10,500, very expensive. Just faced Toronto his last start. 5.2 innings, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 5 strikeouts, 14 fantasy points. Not enough at his price. I might be outpriced by him as well. I don't think I want to spend 10,500 in this matchup here. I just don't think I can spend that. And honestly, the bats, Boston bats, Jarren Duran, I would look at. Obviously, Rafi are the 2 main ones that I would look at. Toronto bats, Vladdy had a huge home run yesterday. Spencer Horwitz did as well. Was part of our one of our stacks on the website. Those are the bats I'd look at. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, you could look at IKF a little bit too. I'm probably off of the pitchers in this one. Bassett just doesn't do it for me. Strikeout wise, the strikeout one I will, but DFS, I'm not paying up enough for Tanner Houck there. Then we get to the Braves at the Cardinals. You got Spencer Schwellenbach versus Lance Lynn. Spencer's never faced them before. Lynn, 126 plate appearances, has obviously faced them a ton there. So we look at Schwellenbach here. 4.99 ERA, it is kind of up there. Splits-wise, has not obviously faced St. Louis. Pitching on the road in 2 games, has a 6.75 ERA. Is coming off a good game versus Detroit. 6 innings with 7 Ks. But then other than that, I feel like that game might be an outlier. I would look at the Cardinals bats. Obviously, the Cardinals bats, people want to pay up for Arenado. People want to pay up for Goldie. That's fantastic, fine. But I would look at paying down at Alec Burleson, Nolan Gorman, Brendan Donovan. Depending on who else is out there, Pedro Pajes, you could look at. Did they send down Ivan Herrera, or did he get hurt? Oh, he got the IL, the old IL, lower back tightness, and Wilson Contreras is not back yet. So you do get a cheap option in either a Pedro Pajes or Nick Rapasso. I wouldn't use either of them. And then obviously you could use a Nolan Arenado or Goldie to fill out a 5-man stack. Then Lance Lynn, I honestly, I'm so confused by what Lance Lynn does. 7,900's got a 4 ERA, has not faced Atlanta this year, has not had a good game in a while, but has had success against Atlanta. I'm still off of him. I am stacking the Braves. I'm stacking just a ton of Braves. Ozuna against one of his former teams, love that for him. Matt Olson, wouldn't be surprised if he goes yard. Orlando Arcia would be a cheap option. Jared Kelenic had a fantastic series against the Yankees. Ozzy Albies obviously makes sense. Depending, I guess, on who the catcher is, either Sean Murphy or Darno, I don't mind them either. So I'm not on either pitcher. I love the Braves as a stack better, but I will have some exposure to to the Cardinals as a stack. I don't want the pitchers. This was another one I was waiting on. The Dodgers. I should have made this video last night. Dodgers versus the White Sox. Obviously, the White Sox are a very bad team. I would look at Garrett Crochet against the Dodgers. I know they're the Dodgers, but he has been striking out a ton of people. And he is the third. I would pay down instead of Houck. I would pay for him. Splits-wise, he has not faced the Dodgers this year. Had a fantastic game against Seattle with 13 strikeouts. We're seeing at least 8 strikeouts in every game since May 26th. So he's had a ton of double-digit games. Hopefully he stays healthy. So the Dodgers, obviously a great hitting team. I would look at Crochet in this one. And then just waiting. They think it's going to be James Paxton. They don't know. He last pitched. It would make sense. He last pitched 7 days ago at Colorado. We actually used him at Colorado. 7 innings in that game, 1 earned run, 8 Ks. I don't like. This would be a great matchup for him because, as we know, the White Sox are a bad team, but they do hit lefties well. Paxton scares me a little bit. 3.65 ERA, pitching at home does have a 2.51 compared to a 4.50 on the road. This is the Windy City. I think a sneaky stack could be the White Sox that I don't think a lot of people are going to be on. Tommy Pham, Luis Robert Jr. Is Eloy back? This is me being so shocked. He came back, okay, after a month off. Then he experienced hamstring soreness in his return into the lineup. I can't believe it. I am so shocked that he hurt himself yet again. Wow. He's not going to play. He's probably going back on the IL. Unbelievable. He is the... I don't know what to say. I'm not using him. He's not going to play. He's going to get hurt. Even if he plays, you're paying $4,000 for someone who's going to hurt his something. He's going to hurt something. I'm not even a White Sox fan, and I'm just pissed that he can't stay healthy. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I wouldn't use Eloy. You could look at Tommy Pham, Luis Robert Jr., Andrew Vaughn, Corey Julks, maybe even Paul DeYoung for a White Sox stack here. I just don't trust Paxton enough. White Sox as one of my stacks today, sure. Paxton for tournaments, I'm okay with that because the White Sox are so bad. But I would not be surprised if the White Sox hit him. That's kind of my thought on this one. I do love Crochet for both cash or tournaments, though. And speaking of keyword of the day, let's go with Eloy as keyword of the day because he is pathetic. Yeah, he's pathetic. It's unbelievable. Eloy is the word of the day. So we got the Marlins at the Royals. This is a pitcher's park. Munoz versus Cole Ragans. Ragans has been a godsend since coming over from Texas last year. And we look at this. He is the second highest priced pitcher. I would rather take Ragans in this one instead of paying up for Houck, though. I could be wrong. Again, this is just my information that in my head. Ragans didn't do the best against Oakland. Only 2 earned runs, 6 innings. Only got 18.7. Obviously, we'd love to see 20 plus out of him. But the reason he didn't have very many was his 4 walks. But that was the most walks he's had all year. So just maybe an outlier. But 7 Ks is good. Then the Dodgers didn't do well, but then he did very well against Seattle, who strikes out 9 in that game. 6 and 7 there. I do love Cole Ragans. I'm really not looking at Miami as a stack. Offensive-wise, I'm not looking at them. Could they go off? They could. In my mind, I'm going Cole Ragans. And then I'm going Kansas City bats. So the bats, Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvador Perez have to be in your lineups if you're making a full stack for the Royals. But then I love Vinny Pasquantino. I love MJ Melendez in this one. If you want to go cheaper, you go Kyle Isbell or Nelson Velasquez for a stack. If you think Ragans is going to be off today and not have a good game, Jesus Sanchez I would look at, Jake Berger I would look at Brian De La Cruz and Josh Bell. Like Nick Gordon did have a home run yesterday. I get that, but no one's on him. We're not saying put him in a stack. But in my mind, I'm going Ragans and the Royals at home against Munoz and the Miami Marlins. Then you got the Rangers at the Brewers. You got Michael Lorenzen versus Freddie Peralta. Lorenzen's had success, 35 plate appearances against them, a .067 batting average, compared to Freddie Peralta, 37 plate appearances, 273. Both have been good. Peralta's price has come down. Does have a 4 ERA. That's what I'm looking at. When he pitches at home, he's got a 4.91 ERA. So he's worse at home. Coming off a great game against the Angels with 8 Ks and no earned runs. But then he's had a couple of stinkers against Cincy and Detroit, which makes no sense. I will admit, we took him against Detroit. He lasted 3.1 innings, 94 pitches into the 4th inning. But then he's had these great games against these other teams. I don't know if I want to pay up for Peralta today. His numbers are up there. I kind of like Lorenzen a little bit more in this one. I mean, you're going to save a ton of money at 7,300. He really hasn't done much. He didn't do much in this game. The strikeouts have been low the past 3 games, but a fantastic game against Miami. He's had success against Milwaukee this year. On the road, he does have a better ERA on the road. I don't think you're going to get a ton of strikeouts out of him, but at 7,300, I think he's serviceable. I would rather pay down for Lorenzen than Peralta, and with Peralta's woes this year and at home, I would be looking at Texas as a stack. Jonah Heim, if he's in there. Corey Seager's obviously got to be in this lineup here. Wyatt Langford, I do not mind him at all. You've got Adolis Garcia. I do like a Texas stack a little bit more than I do like Milwaukee today. I could be wrong, but that's where my mind is going. Then we got the Athletics at the Angels, Luis Medina versus Griffin Canning. Now, Oakland strikes out the second most out of any team. Griffin Canning has had success against them, but he's not like obviously 6,100 is cheap. He's got a 5 ERA. Pitching at home does have a little bit better ERA, but it's still 4.85. Oakland, he hasn't done anything the last 3 games. I'm not using Canning for DFS. I would use him if we're thinking about pitching for the strikeouts, solely because I would love this if it were in Oakland better though, but solely if he has a good game for strikeouts. But he hasn't really had a good DFS game at all. The strikeouts 4, 3, 2, 4, 5, they haven't been there. He's not a high strikeout dude, so I'm probably not going to use him for the tournament anyway, or for the strikeouts anyway. But that's kind of my thought in this one. And then Medina, he's 5,500, 4.71 ERA. Has not faced the Angels. When he's pitching on the road, he's actually better on the road, which is weird because Oakland's a huge ballpark. 338's not bad. Tournament-wise, Medina, I don't mind him. He's only started 4 games, had a good game against Atlanta, 2 bad games, a good game against Kansas City. I think Medina at 5,500 could be a sneaky option. You're basically looking right around 5 innings, though. So he's got to get those earned runs down and strikeouts up in this game. I'm not looking at offenses in this game. Then we got the Nationals at the Padres, Patrick Corbin versus Matt Waldron. I'll take Waldron for tournaments, and I'll take Padres as a stack against Patrick Corbin. I don't trust Patrick Corbin. He's got a 5.60 ERA, splits-wise. Away, he's got a 5.53 on the road. I would look at the Padres bats. I would look at Manny. I would look at Fernando Tatis Jr. I would look at Jurickson Profar. Higashioka usually hits lefties well. I would look at him. Luis Arraez obviously gets on base all the time. Jackson Merrill would be another one. So I do love a San Diego stack here against Patrick Corbin. I want nothing to do with Corbin. Waldron, if you are on the train with him, I'm okay with that. But if you want to look at some bats for Washington, Eddie Rosario makes sense. Lane Thomas makes sense. C.J. Abrams, Luis Garcia, and Jesse Winker. Those are the ones I would look at. Waldron for tournaments, I'm okay with. That's basically it. I want nothing to do with Patrick Corbin. I will take the Padres as a stack. And then the final game, the Cubs at the Giants, Justin Steele versus to be announced. If you're unaware, you're going to see the San Francisco Giants have to be announced all the time leading up to game, especially when they play at home and the lineups don't have to be out for a very long time. That's where we're at. They think it's going to be Spencer Howard. He last pitch on Wednesday in relief, 1 inning there. Might be an opener. We don't know. That's the problem. He just faced this Cubs team then, went 1 inning, gave up 2 earned runs. I would look at the Cubs, and then we got Justin Steele. Just faced the San Francisco team at home, 6.2 innings with 8 Ks. I'm looking at Justin Steele again in this ballpark, which is a pitcher's ballpark. And then I'm looking at the Cubs bats. I'm not looking at San Francisco. I guess you could, if you think Steele's going to have a bad game, the only bats for San Francisco I'd look at would be Chapman, Ramos, Soler. That's basically it. But the Cubs, I do love them as a stack, especially if it's Spencer Howard. It could be somebody else. I would look at Suzuki. I would look at Ian Happ. I would look at Christopher Morel, who had another home run yesterday. I would look at Cody Bellinger as well. He's played in this ballpark a ton when he was with the Dodgers. So in this game here, I don't want anything to do with whoever the San Francisco pitcher is. I will have some Steele, and I will have the Cubs as a stack. And that's it. That's the Monday breakdown. 12 games, all of the pitchers that are available, all of the bats that we love. That's what we've got there. Now, we are into the pitches be crazy. So in theory, it's Taj Bradley versus Seattle, number 1, because Seattle strikes out, like I said, average of 10 times per game. Griffin Canning, number 2, versus Oakland. Oakland strikes out 9.78 times per game. Number 3 is whichever pitcher is going up against Boston, which seems like it's going to be Chris Bassett. So looking at that, I would use him. Boston striking out 9.56 times per game. Number 4 is Carson Spears versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh striking out 9.43 times per game. And then number 5 is Brian Wu versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is striking out 9.03 times per game in this season. But then you jump into FanDuel. This is the tournament I'm talking about. If you guys are not signed up to FanDuel, either Sportsbook or Fantasy or DraftKings, and you want to help out the channel, let me know. Email me, and I will give you our referral link so you guys can sign up. But this is just what the game they have. It's $1. They have higher ones, but this is just $1 to show you. You just pick 3. There are no salary choices. It's just pick 3. So as you can see, the top 3 are Garrett Crochet, who's striking out 7.75 batters per game. Freddie Peralta, 7.06. Cole Reagans, 6.81. It's got nothing to do with any of the other pitchers, but like Chris Bassett, the strikeouts are low, but Boston strikes out a ton. Garrett Crochet is a high strikeout guy. And the other guys that we have in here, unfortunately, is the main slate. So we can't go with Taj Bradley. We can't go with Brian Wu. So just depending on which ones you want to look at, that's kind of a problem too. But I love Cole Reagans here. I love Garrett Crochet. And then maybe Chris Bassett. Maybe you pick another one, depending on who you think is going to have a good game. Maybe Matt Waldron. But obviously you can go lower and higher. Peralta, again, I don't know if I'm going to use him against Texas. Like, his strikeouts per game are good, but Texas, obviously a great hitting team. So just some options for pitches be crazy. If you like this segment, let me know, and we will continue with this segment. So that being said, we're done. We're looking at the top 20 batters through 10,000 simulations. Then we're going to give you all of the batters that have the best matchups, a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. So let's get going. Number 1, Jarren Duran. Number 2, Ellie De La Cruz. 3 is Bobby Witt Jr. 4 is Vinny Pasquantino. 5 is Tyler Stevenson. 6 is Stuart Fairchild. 7 is Adolis Garcia. 8 is Trey Turner. 9 is Brian Reynolds. 10 is Salvador Perez. 11 is Jeimer Candelario. 12, Taylor Ward. 13, Marcus Semien. 14, Christian Yelich. 15, Fernando Tatis Jr. 16, Emmanuel Valdez. 17, J.J. Bleday. 18, Jose Ramirez. 19, Connor Wong. And number 20 is Spencer Steer. Again, so when the main slate locks at night, these are 10,000 simulations. We will update it and do 20,000 simulations. Normally about an hour or 2 hours before the first pitch of the main slate. So then the batters that all have a 10 out of 10, not very many today. Vinny Pasquantino is number 1. Number 2 is Tyler Stevenson. 3 is Taylor Ward. 4 is J.J. Bleday. 5 is Jose Ramirez. 6 is Stephen Kwan. 7, Ryan O'Hearn. 8, Alec Boehm. 9, Seiya Suzuki. 10, Jurickson Profar. And number 11, right now, Brandon Marsh, versus Casey Mize. And there you have it. Top 20 bats, all the bats with the 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Broke down the entire slate for Monday. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you stick around. Hopefully you come back tomorrow. Be on the lookout this week. We've still got PGA. I've already started our MMA cheat sheet, so definitely go check that out if you have not already. I don't normally have a video for MMA just because I can't pronounce half of the names, and I don't want to struggle through them. I completely understand. We've got sports bets as well, so go check it out. If you've been on the fence, FTA Plus, $10 for the week, check it out. Then sign up after a week for the monthly pass or the yearly pass using the promo codes that we mentioned at the beginning of the video if the coupon codes are still there. If you type the coupon code in and it works, it's active. Once the coupon codes are up and done, we've used the amount of coupon codes that we had. I think we had 10 for each. Then they won't work. So they will work as long as you use them and you get the discount. They are active. If you try to type it in, it will say it is inactive. So that's what I've got. Good luck on this Monday slate. Let's have a fantastic day. Let's bring up some bacon. Peace.